What if I told you that while Sydney and Melbourne are busy turning home ownership into a cruel joke where millionaires compete over one-bedroom apartments with views of other people's laundry, there are towns across Australia where you can buy an entire house for less than a decent used car? Sounds like a dodgy real estate seminar run by someone named Gary, who promises wealth but delivers pyramid schemes, right? I'm Mr. Austral, and these towns exist. Real, livable, forgotten places where housing prices are so low you'll check twice to make sure you're not accidentally buying a shed or a very optimistic chicken coop. Support the channel or enjoy paying $700,000 for a one-bedroom apartment. Just joking. Subscribe. Number 25. Andamooka, South Australia, opal mining town, where houses cost less than the opals. We're kicking off with Andamooka, a town so remote and dusty that even Google Street View gave up halfway through. This is outback South Australia at its finest, meaning hottest, driest, and most unforgiving. Andamooka is an opal mining town about 600 kilometres north of Adelaide, which translates to, you're not popping back to the city for brunch. The population hovers around 500 people, most of whom are either mining opals, retired miners, or people who wandered in decades ago and forgot to leave. Houses here can be bought for as little as $20,000 to $50,000. Yes, you read that correctly. $20,000. That's less than a deposit on a studio apartment in any capital city. You're getting an actual house. Walls, roof, the occasional scorpion tenant who doesn't pay rent but minds their own business. The reason prices are so absurdly low is simple. Andamooka is hot, isolated, and the entire economy revolves around opal mining, which is a gamble at best. There's no major industry, no employment diversity, and the town's population has been slowly declining as younger generations decide they'd prefer places with air conditioning that doesn't require a generator and hope. The landscape is stark. Red dirt, scrub, endless sky, and mine shafts everywhere because apparently zoning regulations are more of a suggestion than a rule here. Water is scarce and expensive. The town doesn't have reticulated water, so you're relying on tanks, bores, or trucked-in supplies. The summer heat is biblical. 45 degrees is not unusual, and your car's interior becomes a legitimate oven. If you're thinking this sounds unlivable, you'd be half right. Number 24, Quilpie, Queensland, where houses are cheap and the outback is real. Next up is Quilpie, a small town in outback Queensland about 1,000 kilometres west of Brisbane, which in Australian distance terms means bring snacks for the drive and possibly a second set of snacks. Quilpie has a population of around 600 people and is known for opals, cattle, and being so far from anywhere that the nearest capital city feels like a theoretical concept rather than an actual place you could visit. Houses in Quilpie can be bought for between $50,000 and $120,000. You're getting a proper house. 3 bedrooms, a yard, maybe a veranda where you can sit and contemplate the vastness of existence while drinking beer that's slightly too warm because the fridge is working overtime in 40-degree heat. The reason prices are low is isolation and limited employment. The economy runs on cattle, mining, and government services. If you're not working in one of those sectors or running your own business, your job options are limited to creative entrepreneur or remote worker who really doesn't need fast internet. The town itself is small but functional. There's a hospital, a school, a supermarket that stocks the essentials plus whatever arrived on the last truck, and a bakery that makes meat pies good enough to justify the entire trip. The local pool is fed by artesian bore water, which is naturally heated, meaning you can swim year-round without needing a heater, which is both environmentally efficient and oddly luxurious for a town in the middle of nowhere. Number 23, Kambalda, Western Australia, mining town with cheap houses and nickel dreams. Kambalda is a mining town in Western Australia's goldfields, about 60 kilometres from Kalgoorlie, which is itself in the middle of nowhere. So Kambalda is in the middle of nowhere. It was built in the 1960s during a nickel boom, and its entire existence revolves around mining. The population sits around 3,000 people, and the town has that utilitarian mining town aesthetic. Functional, practical, and not particularly concerned with being pretty. Houses here range from $60,000 to $150,000. You can get a 3-bedroom brick house with a yard for less than the cost of a new ute. The reason? Kambalda's economy is entirely dependent on mining, and when nickel prices drop or mines close, the population shrinks and housing demand collapses. It's a boom and bust cycle that makes property investment risky, but living here incredibly affordable if you've got stable employment or remote work that doesn't depend on the local economy. The town has a supermarket, a hotel, a school, medical services, and all the basic infrastructure you need to live comfortably. It's not exciting, but it's functional. There's a golf course, a swimming pool, and recreational facilities because mining companies learned that keeping workers happy requires more than just paychecks. It requires distractions from the fact that you're living in a place where the landscape is red dirt, salt lakes, and scrub as far as the eye can see. The heat in summer is intense. 40-degree days are standard, and the lack of humidity means you'll drink water constantly and still feel like a raisin. Number 22. Norseman, Western Australia. Gateway to the Nullarbor and cheap housing Norseman sits at the edge of the Nullarbor Plain in Western Australia, making it the last significant town before you hit the world's longest straight road and a whole lot of nothing. It's a gold mining town with a population of around 700 people, and it exists primarily because there's gold in the ground, and because someone needed to build a town here to service the mines, and the occasional traveller, brave or foolish enough to drive across the Nullarbor. Housing prices in Norseman range from $40,000 to $100,000. You can buy a house for the price of a second-hand caravan, except this house has plumbing, electricity, and doesn't require you to explain to your family why you're living in a tin can on wheels. The reason prices are so low is simple. Norseman is remote, the economy is narrow, and most people pass through rather than stay. Employment is mining, roadhouse work, or small business catering to travellers who need fuel, food, and confirmation that civilization still exists. The town has a supermarket, a bakery, a pub, medical services, and a school. It's not fancy, but it's functional. There's a golf course, a swimming pool, and enough infrastructure to support a small community. The landscape is flat, sparse, and beautiful in that harsh Australian way where beauty is measured in survival rather than aesthetics. Living in Norseman means accepting isolation. You're 5 hours from Perth, 6 hours from Kalgoorlie, and surrounded by vast emptiness that either terrifies you or sets you free depending on your personality. If you need constant stimulation, endless entertainment options, and a vibrant social scene, Norseman will bore you within a week. If you want peace, space, and the ability to own a home without selling your soul to a bank, Norseman offers exactly that. Number 21. Wyndham, Western Australia. Tropical north town with cheap houses and big crocs. Wyndham is in the far north of Western Australia, about 3,200 kilometres from Perth, which is so far that Perth might as well be on another planet. It's a tiny town with a population of around 800 people, sitting in the tropical Kimberley region where the heat is oppressive, the humidity is thick, and the crocodiles are very real and very large. Houses in Wyndham can be bought for as little as $50,000 to $120,000. You're getting a house in a place where most Australians didn't even know there was a town. The reason prices are low is isolation, extreme weather, and limited employment. The economy is small. Government services, port operations, and tourism make up most of the jobs. If you're not employed in one of those sectors or working remotely, you're going to struggle. The wet season here is intense. Monsoonal rains, flooding, humidity so high you could swim through the air, and temperatures that make you question every decision that led you to living in a place that feels like a sauna designed by someone who hates comfort. But the dry season is stunning. Clear skies, dramatic landscapes, and weather that's hot but manageable if you've got air conditioning and low expectations. Wyndham has basic services: a supermarket, a hospital, a school, and a pub where locals gather to complain about the heat and share stories about close encounters with crocodiles, which are everywhere. Number 20, Coober Pedy, South Australia, underground town, where houses are literally holes in the ground. Coober Pedy is the opal capital of the world and one of the weirdest towns in Australia, which is saying something. It's in outback South Australia, about 840 kilometres north of Adelaide, and the town is famous for two things: opals and the fact that half the population lives underground to escape the heat. Yes, underground. In dugouts carved into the hillsides, because when summer temperatures regularly hit 50 degrees, living above ground is for masochists and tourists who don't know better. Houses here, or rather dugouts, can be bought for anywhere from $60,000 to $200,000, depending on size, location, and how fancy the previous owner got with the interior. You can buy a basic underground home for less than a one-bedroom apartment deposit in Sydney. The reason prices are low is that Coober Pedy is remote, harsh, and economically dependent on opal mining, which is unpredictable at best. The population has been slowly declining as younger generations decide they'd prefer living in places where you can see the sky from your bedroom without climbing stairs. Living underground sounds strange until you experience a Coober Pedy summer. Number 19, Cloncurry, Queensland. Outback town with history, heat, and affordable homes. Cloncurry is in northwest Queensland, about 770 kilometres west of Townsville, deep in the outback where the heat is legendary and the town's claim to fame is recording the highest temperature ever in Australia, 50.7 degrees in 1923. Yes, 50.7. That's not weather, that's attempted murder by climate. Houses in Cloncurry range from $80,000 to $180,000. You're getting a proper house, brick, tin roof, yard, maybe a veranda where you can sit and watch the heat shimmer off the road like a mirage taunting your sanity. The reason prices are affordable is that Cloncurry is remote, hot as hell, and economically tied to mining. When mining is good, the town thrives. When mining slows, the population drops and housing prices follow. The town has around 3,000 residents and offers solid infrastructure: supermarkets, schools, hospital, cafes, and even a cinema. There's history here too. Cloncurry was a major mining hub in the early 1900s, and the town still has that frontier spirit mixed with modern amenities. The Royal Flying Doctor Service was founded here, which is fitting because when you're this far from everywhere, air ambulances aren't luxury, they're necessity. The heat is the main challenge. Summer is brutal. 40-degree days are standard, and you'll become intimately familiar with your air conditioner's electrical consumption. Number 18, Hay, New South Wales, Riverina town with cheap houses and agricultural roots. Hay is a small town in the Riverina region of New South Wales, about 730 kilometres southwest of Sydney. It sits on the Murrumbidgee River and has a population of around 3,000 people. The town's economy is based on agriculture, wool, wheat, and sheep, and it has that classic country town vibe where everyone knows everyone, and your business is discussed over morning tea at the bakery. Houses in Hay range from $70,000 to $160,000. You can buy a 3-bedroom brick home with a backyard for less than the cost of a small car. The reason prices are low is that Hay is remote, agricultural work is declining, and younger generations are leaving for cities with more opportunities. The town's population has been stable but aging, and the housing market reflects the lack of demand. Hay has all the basics: supermarkets, schools, a hospital, sports facilities, and a strong sense of community. The town is known for its history. It was a major prisoner of war camp during World War II, and there are still remnants and museums documenting that era. The landscape is flat, dry, and agricultural. Big skies, endless paddocks, and irrigation channels that keep the farms productive despite the harsh climate. Living in Hay means embracing small town life. There's no nightlife, no trendy cafes, no weekend markets selling overpriced kombucha. But there's community, affordability, and a pace of life where stress is measured by weather and crop prices, not traffic and deadlines. If you're into fishing, the Murrumbidgee River offers great spots. Number 17, Blackwater, Queensland, coal mining town, with affordable housing. Blackwater is in central Queensland, about 200 kilometres southwest of Rockhampton. It's a coal mining town with a population of around 5,000 people, and its entire existence revolves around the coal industry. When coal prices are high, Blackwater thrives. When prices drop, the town tightens its belt and waits for the next boom. Houses in Blackwater range from $100,000 to $250,000. For $150,000, you can get a solid 3-bedroom house with air conditioning, a yard, and enough space to park your ute and boat. The reason prices are reasonable is that the town's economy is narrow. If you're not working in mining or supporting industries, employment options are limited. The population fluctuates with the mining cycle, and housing demand rises and falls accordingly. The town has good infrastructure for its size. Supermarkets, schools, medical services, sports facilities, and a range of community activities. There's a strong sense of community because mining towns foster tight-knit populations. People work hard, support each other, and build relationships based on shared experience. The climate is hot and dry. Summer temperatures regularly exceed 40 degrees, and you'll spend more time indoors with the air conditioning than you'd like. But the winters are mild and pleasant, and the town's location means you're within driving distance of Rockhampton and the coast if you need a change of scenery. Blackwater isn't glamorous. It's a working-class town built for function, not aesthetics. The streets are wide, the houses are practical, and the atmosphere is unpretentious. But if you're in the mining industry or working remotely, it offers affordable housing, solid amenities, and a community that values hard work and honesty over pretension. Subscribe to show that these videos actually help and make sense. Number 16, Mount Isa, Queensland, mining city, with cheap houses and brutal heat. Mount Isa is a mining city in northwest Queensland with a population of around 18,000 people. It's built around one of the world's most productive mines, and the entire city exists because there's copper, silver, lead, and zinc in the ground. The landscape is harsh, red dirt, rocky outcrops, and a sky so big and empty it makes you feel insignificant in the best possible way. Houses in Mount Isa range from $100,000 to $250,000. You can buy a decent 3-bedroom house for $150,000, which in capital city terms wouldn't even cover the cost of a parking space. The reason prices are affordable is that Mount Isa is remote, 900 kilometres from Townsville, 1,800 kilometres from Brisbane, and the economy is mining dependent. When the mine is doing well, the city thrives. When mining slows, people leave and housing demand drops. The city has excellent infrastructure, supermarkets, schools, hospital, recreational facilities, restaurants, and even a TAFE campus. For a remote mining town, Mount Isa punches above its weight in terms of services and amenities. There's a strong sense of community, active sports leagues, and plenty of social activities if you're willing to get involved. The heat is the main challenge. Summer temperatures regularly hit the mid-40s, and the dry heat feels like living inside an oven that someone forgot to turn off. Number 15, Port Pirie, South Australia, industrial town. With affordable real estate, Port Pirie is an industrial town on South Australia's Spencer Gulf, about 220 kilometres north of Adelaide. It has a population of around 14,000 people and is known for its lead smelter, grain handling, and port operations. It's not a tourist destination, but it's a functional working-class town with solid infrastructure and affordable housing. Houses in Port Pirie range from $80,000 to $200,000. You can buy a 3-bedroom house with a yard for around $120,000, which is absurdly cheap compared to Adelaide's median house price. The reason prices are low is that Port Pirie has an industrial reputation. Pollution concerns from the smelter have historically deterred buyers, and the town's economy is narrow. Employment is concentrated in industrial and government sectors, and job opportunities outside those areas are limited. The town has supermarkets, schools, medical services, sports facilities, and a reasonable range of shops and services. It's close enough to Adelaide that you can make day trips for shopping, entertainment, or appointments. The Spencer Gulf offers fishing, boating, and scenic coastal drives. The climate is Mediterranean, hot dry summers, mild winters, and enough sunshine to make solar panels a smart investment. Port Pirie isn't glamorous, but it's practical. If you're working in industry, healthcare, or education, it offers affordable housing and a lower cost of living than Adelaide. The community is working class, friendly, and unpretentious. It's the kind of town where people get on with life without making a big deal about it. Number 14, Whyalla, South Australia, industrial city with cheap houses and coastal access. Whyalla is South Australia's second largest city after Adelaide, with a population of around 22,000 people. It's an industrial city built around steelworks and shipbuilding, and while it's had economic ups and downs, it remains a significant regional centre with solid infrastructure and affordable housing. Houses in Whyalla range from $100,000 to $250,000. You can buy a 3-bedroom house near the beach for around $150,000, which in Adelaide would barely get you a studio apartment in a suburb you'd rather avoid. The reason prices are low is that Whyalla's economy has struggled. Steel industry volatility, population decline, and competition from other regional centres have kept housing demand low. But Whyalla is making a comeback. There's investment in renewable energy, new industries, and infrastructure projects that are bringing jobs and optimism back to the city. The steelworks is still operational, and there are opportunities in healthcare, education, government services, and small business. The city has excellent facilities: supermarkets, schools, hospital, university campus, sports complexes, cinemas, and a range of shops and restaurants. The foreshore is beautiful: a long jetty, parks, playgrounds, and calm swimming beaches. The climate is Mediterranean with hot dry summers and mild winters. Whyalla isn't flashy, but it's affordable, functional, and offers coastal living without the price tag. If you're willing to look past its industrial image, you'll find a city with potential, community spirit, and housing prices that make home ownership achievable. Number 13, Broken Hill, New South Wales. Outback city with history and affordable homes. Broken Hill is an outback city in far west New South Wales, about 1,100 kilometres from Sydney. It's famous for mining history, stunning desert landscapes, and being the setting for Mad Max 2. The population is around 18,000 people, and the city has a strong artistic community, unique character, and housing prices that make capital city dwellers jealous. Houses in Broken Hill range from $60,000 to $200,000. You can buy a heritage home with character for around $120,000, or a modern brick house for $150,000. The reason prices are low is isolation. Broken Hill is hours from anywhere, and a declining population as mining opportunities decrease. But Broken Hill is more than just mining. It's become an arts hub with galleries, studios, and the iconic living desert sculptures. The city has a vibrant cultural scene, excellent facilities, including schools, hospital, TAFE, and recreational amenities. The outback landscape is stunning. Red earth, big skies, and sunsets that photographers travel thousands of kilometres to capture. The climate is harsh, hot summers, cold winters, and very little rain. But the dry climate means low humidity, clear skies, and incredible stargazing. The community is diverse, creative, and resilient. People who live in Broken Hill love it fiercely and wouldn't trade it for coastal living or city convenience. Number 12. Moree, New South Wales, agricultural town with artesian hot springs. Moree is in northern New South Wales, about 630 kilometres northwest of Sydney. It's an agricultural town known for cotton farming, wheat, and artesian hot springs that attract visitors year-round. The population is around 10,000 people, and the town has solid infrastructure and affordable housing. Houses in Moree range from $100,000 to $250,000. You can buy a comfortable 3-bedroom house with a yard for around $150,000. The reason prices are affordable is that Moree is agricultural, remote, and employment is tied to farming cycles. When agriculture is strong, the town thrives. When drought or market conditions are poor, the economy struggles. The town has supermarkets, schools, hospital, sports facilities, and the famous Moree Artesian Aquatic Centre, hot mineral pools that are genuinely therapeutic and popular with locals and tourists. The climate is hot with mild winters, and the flat agricultural landscape stretches endlessly in every direction. Moree has a strong community feel, active sports leagues, and cultural events. It's the kind of town where your kids can ride bikes safely, neighbours know each other, and life moves at a pace that allows you to breathe. If you're in agriculture, healthcare, education, or working remotely, Moree offers affordability and quality of life that cities can't match. The hot springs are a genuine drawcard. Natural mineral water pumped from deep underground, heated naturally, and available year-round. It's not just a tourist attraction, it's something locals use regularly, and it adds a quality of life element that most country towns don't have. Number 11. Kalgoorlie-Boulder, Western Australia, goldfield city with mining history. Kalgoorlie-Boulder is in Western Australia's goldfields, about 600 kilometres east of Perth. It's a twin city with a population of around 30,000 people, and it's been a gold mining hub since the 1890s. The city has solid infrastructure, active nightlife, and housing prices that are affordable despite the mining economy. Houses in Kalgoorlie-Boulder range from $150,000 to $350,000. You can buy a 3-bedroom house for around $200,000. The reason prices are relatively affordable despite mining wages is that the city's population fluctuates with mining cycles, and many workers fly in and fly out rather than live permanently. The city has excellent facilities: supermarkets, schools, hospital, university campus, sports complexes, hotels, restaurants, and entertainment venues. There's history everywhere: heritage buildings, mining museums, and the famous Super Pit gold mine that's visible from certain parts of the city. The climate is hot and dry with mild winters. Kalgoorlie-Boulder has a strong community, active social scene, and opportunities in mining, hospitality, healthcare, and education. It's not as remote as other towns on this list, and Perth is accessible for weekends if you need city amenities. The city has character, old pubs with history, cultural diversity from international mining workers, and a frontier spirit that's still alive despite modern infrastructure. If you're in the mining industry or looking for affordable housing in a place with actual infrastructure, Kalgoorlie-Boulder is worth considering. Number 10. Ceduna, South Australia. Coastal town at the edge of the Nullarbor. Ceduna is on South Australia's west coast, right at the edge of the Nullarbor Plain. It's a fishing and agricultural town with a population of around 4,000 people and it's the last significant town before you hit Western Australia. Houses here range from $100,000 to $250,000. You can buy a house near the coast for $150,000, which gives you ocean access without the coastal city price tag. The reason prices are affordable is that Ceduna is isolated, 780 kilometres from Adelaide, and the economy is narrow, focused on fishing, agriculture, and servicing travellers crossing the Nullarbor. Employment options are limited unless you're in those industries or working remotely. The town has supermarkets, schools, hospital, and basic services. The coastline is stunning, wild, rugged, and perfect for fishing. The waters here are rich with King George whiting, snapper, and salmon, making it a fishing paradise. The climate is mild with warm summers and cool winters, and the sunsets over the ocean are worth the isolation alone. Living in Ceduna means accepting remoteness. You're hours from anything significant, and trips to Adelaide require planning. But if you want coastal living, affordable housing, and a lifestyle where fishing and ocean access are daily realities rather than weekend luxuries, Ceduna delivers. The community is small, tight-knit, and welcoming if you contribute. There's a strong Indigenous population, and cultural events and festivals celebrate that heritage. Number 9. Mildura, Victoria, Riverland City with affordability and sunshine. Mildura is in northwest Victoria on the Moree River, about 550 kilometres from Melbourne. It's a regional city with a population of around 55,000 people, and it's known for agriculture, horticulture, and endless sunshine. Houses range from $150,000 to $350,000. You can buy a comfortable 3-bedroom house for around $250,000. The reason prices are affordable compared to Melbourne is distance and regional status. Mildura is far from the capital, and while it's a significant regional centre, it doesn't have the employment diversity or cultural amenities of major cities. The economy is based on agriculture, citrus, grapes, almonds, and seasonal work patterns affect employment stability. But Mildura has excellent infrastructure, supermarkets, schools, hospital, university campus, sports facilities, and entertainment venues. The Moree River offers boating, fishing, and water sports. The climate is hot and dry, with mild winters. Mildura gets more sunshine hours than almost anywhere in Australia, making it perfect for solar power and outdoor lifestyles. Living in Mildura means embracing regional city life. You've got amenities and services, but you're still 5 hours from Melbourne. The community is diverse, with strong Italian and Greek heritage from post-war immigration, and the food scene reflects that cultural mix. Number 8. Dalby, Queensland, agricultural town with gas industry boom. Dalby is in Queensland's Darling Downs, about 200 kilometres west of Brisbane. It's an agricultural town that's experienced growth due to coal seam gas development. Houses range from $150,000 to $300,000. You can buy a solid 3-bedroom house for around $200,000. The reason prices are affordable despite gas industry money is that Dalby remains agricultural at heart, and much of the gas workforce flies in and out rather than living permanently. The town has solid infrastructure, supermarkets, schools, hospital, sports facilities, and services that support a population of around 12,000 people. The economy is agriculture, grain, cattle, cotton, supplemented by gas industry activity that brings employment and investment. The climate is subtropical with hot summers and mild winters. Dalby is close enough to Brisbane and the coast that trips are manageable, but far enough that you're living regional life with space and affordability. The community is agricultural, conservative, and practical. People here work the land, support local businesses, and value hard work over pretension. If you're in agriculture, gas, or working remotely, Dalby offers affordability, proximity to Brisbane, and a lifestyle that's quieter and cheaper than urban living. Number 7. Emerald, Queensland, gemstone town with mining economy. Emerald is in central Queensland with a population of around 15,000 people. It's known for gemstones, coal mining and agriculture. Houses range from $150,000 to $350,000. You can buy a comfortable house for around $250,000. The reason prices are affordable is that Emerald's economy is mining dependent and population fluctuates with industry cycles. The town has excellent facilities, supermarkets, schools, hospital, sports complexes, and services that support the population well. The climate is hot and dry with mild winters. Emerald is a regional hub for the Central Highlands, which means it services surrounding smaller towns and offers more amenities than typical mining towns. The community is active, friendly, and has strong sporting culture. There are gemstone fossicking opportunities, national parks nearby, and enough infrastructure to live comfortably. Living in Emerald means accepting mining town realities, population fluctuations, economic dependence on coal, and distance from major cities. But if you're in mining or working remotely, it offers solid infrastructure, good wages, and affordable housing. The town isn't glamorous, but it's functional and genuine. Number 6. Parkes, New South Wales, radio telescope town. With affordable living, Parkes is in central New South Wales, famous for the radio telescope featured in the Dish movie. Population around 12,000 people. Houses range from $120,000 to $250,000. You can buy a 3-bedroom house for around $180,000. The reason prices are affordable is that Parkes is agricultural, remote, and has a stable but aging population. The town has solid infrastructure, supermarkets, schools, hospital, TAFE campus, and the famous Parkes Observatory that still operates as a major research facility. The climate is continental with hot summers and cold winters. The landscape is flat agricultural country producing wheat, canola, and livestock. The community is genuine, welcoming, and has strong civic pride. There are annual events, active sports leagues, and enough culture to avoid complete boredom. Living in Parkes means small town life with decent amenities. It's 4 hours from Sydney, close enough for occasional trips, but far enough that you're living regional. If you're in agriculture, healthcare, education, or working remotely, Parkes offers affordability, community, and genuine small-town Australian living. The observatory is genuinely impressive. It's still used for major research projects and space missions. And there's something cool about living in a town that played a role in the moon landing. Number 5. Muswellbrook, New South Wales. Hunter Valley mining town Muswellbrook is in the Hunter Valley with a population around 16,000 people. It's a coal mining town with solid infrastructure and affordable housing. Houses range from $200,000 to $400,000. You can buy a good house for around $300,000. The reason prices are affordable despite mining wages is that much of the workforce flies in and out, and environmental concerns about coal's future create uncertainty. The town has excellent facilities, supermarkets, schools, hospital, sports complexes, and services that support the population well. It's 2.5 hours from Newcastle and Sydney, making it accessible for weekend trips. The climate is temperate with hot summers and cool winters. The community is working class, mining focused, and practical. There are wineries nearby, national parks, and enough activities to stay occupied. Muswellbrook offers mining wages with regional housing prices. If you're in the industry, it's financially smart. Save money, pay off debt, build security. Number 4. Lithgow, New South Wales, Blue Mountains Gateway. With cool climate, Lithgow is on the western edge of the Blue Mountains, 2 hours from Sydney. Population around 20,000 people. Houses range from $250,000 to $400,000. You can buy a decent house for around $350,000. The reason prices are affordable compared to Sydney is distance and industrial history. Coal mining and heavy industry have shaped the town's character and perception. The town has excellent facilities: supermarkets, schools, hospital, TAFE campus, sports facilities, and enough infrastructure to live comfortably. The climate is cooler than Sydney, with cold winters and mild summers. You'll need heating in winter and jumpers most of the year. The Blue Mountains National Park is on your doorstep, offering hiking, waterfalls, scenic drives, and outdoor activities. The community is working class, practical, and welcoming. Lithgow offers proximity to Sydney with regional affordability. If you're willing to commute or work remotely, it provides value that Western Sydney suburbs no longer offer. The cool climate is a genuine attraction for people tired of hot summers, and the mountain scenery provides quality of life that suburban Sydney can't match. Number 3, Armidale, New South Wales, University Town. With character and cool climate, Armidale is in northern New South Wales with a population of around 25,000 people. It's a university town with heritage buildings, cool climate, and strong community. Houses range from $250,000 to $500,000. You can buy a character home for around $350,000. The reason prices are affordable is that Armidale is regional, remote, and economically dependent on education and agriculture. The town has excellent facilities: supermarkets, schools, hospital, university, TAFE, sports facilities, and cultural amenities. The climate is cool, with cold winters and mild summers, rare for Australia, and a major attraction for people who hate heat. The town has character with heritage buildings, tree-lined streets, and a cultural scene built around the university. The community is educated, diverse, and engaged. There are cafes, restaurants, galleries, and enough culture to avoid regional boredom. Armidale offers quality of life, education opportunities, and affordability. If you're in education, healthcare, or working remotely, it provides regional living with cultural amenities that most country towns lack. It's 5 hours from Sydney and the coast, which is significant isolation, but the town's self-sufficiency means you don't need to leave often. The university brings diversity and culture that purely agricultural towns don't have, and the cool climate attracts people tired of Australian heat. Number 2, Orange, New South Wales, Food and Wine Region. With quality of life, Orange is in central New South Wales with a population of around 40,000 people. It's known for cool climate wines, food culture, and quality of life. Houses range from $300,000 to $600,000. You can buy a solid house for around $450,000. The reason prices are higher than other regional towns is that Orange has become desirable. Good climate, food culture, and proximity to Sydney make it attractive for sea changes and tree changes. The town has excellent infrastructure: supermarkets, schools, hospital, university campus, sports facilities, restaurants, cafes, and wineries. The climate is cool with cold winters and mild summers. You'll need heating and warm clothes. The food scene is exceptional for a regional town, with farmers markets, award-winning restaurants, and local produce that rivals anywhere in Australia. The community is diverse, engaged, and has strong civic pride. Orange offers lifestyle, culture, and regional living 3.5 hours from Sydney. It's more expensive than other towns on this list, but still affordable compared to coastal cities, and the quality of life justifies the price. The cool climate attracts people tired of heat. The food and wine scene attracts foodies, and the proximity to Sydney makes it practical for people who need occasional city access. Number 1, Tamworth, New South Wales, country music capital with regional city amenities. Tamworth is Australia's country music capital, with a population of around 63,000 people. It's a regional city with excellent infrastructure, strong economy, and housing that's affordable compared to coastal cities. Houses range from $300,000 to to $550,000. You can buy a good house for around $400,000. The reason prices are affordable is that Tamworth is regional, 3 hours from the coast, 4 hours from Sydney. And while it's a significant city, it doesn't have coastal desirability or capital city proximity. The city has hospitals, university campus, TAFE, sports facilities, entertainment venues, shopping centres, and everything you need for comfortable living. The economy is diverse: healthcare, education, retail, agriculture, manufacturing, and services, which provides employment stability that single industry towns lack. The climate is temperate with hot summers and cool winters. The community is strong, diverse, and proud. There's culture, events including the famous Country Music Festival, and genuine regional city amenities. Tamworth offers the best balance on this list: affordability, infrastructure, employment diversity, and lifestyle. You're not trapped by a single industry, you've got services and amenities, you're accessible to coast and Sydney, and housing is achievable without requiring mining wages or remote location compromise. It's not cheap compared to outback towns, but it's affordable compared to capital cities and coastal areas. And you're getting regional city living with actual infrastructure, employment options, and culture. If you like this video, tell me by subscribing to the channel.